Welcome my dear students. This is Mrs.M.Arunjunai Selvi, Assistant Professor from Department of Computer Science. In this class we are going to discuss in detail about IOT, that is Internet of Things and overview. Come on, let's get into the topic. These are the learning objective of today's class. We are going to discuss about what is IOT, what are the key components of IOT, IOT architecture and pros and cons of IOT. The first one, what is IOT? IOT is a networking of physical objects like hardware components or help us to carry out our day-to-day activities with the help of electronically embedded things. In order to communicate and sense interactions, we need some softwares to carry out the IOT. So, the four main components of IOT are devices, that is nothing but hardware components which help us to fetch the data from the real world, and connectivity, that is the process of connecting hardware components to the software, and data processing, it is a process of deriving knowledge from the fetched data, and the last one is the interface, that is the place where the user can interact with the software component. So, these are the some of the embedded components that we are normally using with IOT. So, these are all some of the sensors and actuators and some processors which we use in IOT. Now, get into the IOT architecture. Just like a OSI architecture in networks, IOT architecture is made up of 4 layers. The first one is the session layer, which help us to gather the data from the user or from the real world. The next one is the network layer, which help us to transfer the data, otherwise transmit the data from the real world to the next layer. And the third one is the data processing layer. Here the fetched data will be processed and we can get information from it. And the last one is the application layer. From here only we can interact with the real world application. So, let us get into the first layer, that is the sensing layer. It is the first layer of the IOT architecture. Here it is mainly focusing on the hardware components like sensors and actuators. So, these are all embedded electronics that help us to collect the data from the user. For example, if you take a soil, if you want to get the soil moisture level of a sand, we can use the soil moisture sensor, and with the help of Arduino UNO, we can finalize the level of moisture through some programs. And also the connection between the hardware components will be either wired or wireless communication. The next layer is the network layer. Network layer is very important because it provides connection and communication between the various IOT components. The connection can be either made with the help of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile network or 4G or 5G technologies, and also we can create a desktop oriented application also with the help of IOT. In addition to it, it also provides, the network layer also provides protocols and technologies and techniques to connect and communicate between the IOT devices. So, network layer also includes gateways and routers to provide efficient communication, otherwise to provide efficient data to the next layer. It also has some authentication and encryption features to carry out the security and the security features of network layer. For example, if you are taking smart home application, so in smart home it will monitor all the rooms and the appliances in our home. So, when the data was shared in the internet, it will be threatened to us. The network layer will take the responsibility to carry out the encryption and the authentication here, and it won't let the data to be flowed over the internet. So, in this way network layer is very important to protect the data with the help of encryption and authentication. So, moving on to the next layer, that is the data processing layer. It is the, as the name implies, it is the most important processing part of the IOT architecture. Here the data collected from the software and the hardware component will be analyzed and it was processed to gather the information from it. It is the most important layer. Here only the raw data is processed and analyzed and it was converted into useful information with the help of DBMS activities, analytical tools and machine learning algorithms. So, here the extraction of useful information and decision making will be done. So, many technologies were available to gather the information in the data processing layer. The most commonly used one is the data lake. Moving on to the next layer, the last layer, that is the application layer. It is a visible part of the IoT architecture and also it is the topmost layer of the IoT architecture. It is the part where end user can interact with your IoT application. It provides a interactive user interface through which the user can control the IoT appliances. So, the end application can be either a mobile app or a web application or a web portal or a standalone applications, that depends upon the applications. It will be very friendly and so even the uneducated peoples can also use the technology very well. So, let us discuss about few advantages of IoT. So, IoT can execute multiple tasks in a computer, just like a computer. So, it is the easiest way and also it provides a very interactive environment. The best suits for server based applications. It is the most commonly used and the most reliable technology that we are using nowadays. So, IoT is available almost everywhere. Everything around us is made of IoT and the future is in the hands of IoT. Even though there are so many advantages in handling IoT, there are few disadvantages like security concerns and the data, since the data was available in the internet, there may be a problem of privacy issues and the people have to depend on technology to access the IoT features. And the next one is there is a limited standardization because of the various devices available and also it is very complex and increases the maintenance requirements and it is a cost, in some cases it is a costly one because of high maintenance cost and it also replaces the job opportunities for the human. If you take the company side, many work will be done with the help of IoT applications. In that situations, people will lose the jobs. So, this is a disadvantage, but advancement in technology will give us some plus and minuses. We have to go through it. These are all some of the modern applications in day-to-day life we are seeing with the help of IoT. Some of the smart mobility, smart housing, smart cities, smart irrigation and so on. We can see IoT applications in almost many fields and it is in the trending nowadays. So, before getting into the topic, we should be aware about, before learning about IoT, we should be aware about the IoT architecture very well so that we can implement it in effective way. Thank you for watching my video, students.